Hey there everybody, T-shirt booth here for gshelper.com. This is video number 8 for So You Want to Make a Boggle game. In the last video we made it so when you select a string of letters and you want to go back and erase everything, you just hit the first letter and it erases it all. Now we need to do the opposite. We need to go when you select a string and you want to accept that word, we need to do that. So we're going to create a couple attributes here, and the first attribute is going to be a Boolean, and we're going to call this ACCEPTWR, accept word, and make sure it's not checked. And we're going to add an index attribute, and we're going to call this last spot selected. Now, for testing purposes, we're going to make a new actor. I'm going to drag it into the scene, and we'll go into it, and I'm going to go change attribute. Actually, not change attribute, sorry. We're going to go display text, and we're going to display our accept word. And I'll go ahead and change the color and hit back. So we're going to go into our letter, and there's a few things we need to do. The first of which is go into our if pressed and used and is 1 rule. And we're going to add a condition here. So at the very last condition, hit the plus sign. And we're going to add a duplicate pretty much of the one above it. So I'm just going to click on it and drag it down. This is how many letters selected. And we're going to say does not equal. And we want to do self, what selection am I? So self, what selection am I? So we want to make sure that it doesn't equal and that it's greater than. And then we're going to shrink that rule. And what we're going to do, we're going to take this rule here and we're going to press the Alt Option button and then drag it down and let go. So we have a copy of that rule. And I'm not sure really what to name this yet. We'll just call this check to accept rule. Okay, so in this one we're going to take out everything except the touches pressed. I want to keep the touches pressed. And we're going to add another condition here. So we're going to hit the plus sign. And we're going to say if attribute game last spot selected equals self, what selection am I? So you have these two here. What we're going to do is we're going to add a change attribute up here to the top. And we're going to change game accept word to true. So if our conditions are met, that means it's going to be a word, and then we'll tell the system later on what to do with that word. We're going to keep this, how many letters selected to 0. We're going to keep all of these and the timer. So this is good. I'm going to shrink that. And now we're going to go and we're going to make a new rule. Drag a rule up here, drag it to the very top for now, just so I'm not at the bottom of the screen all the time. And we're going to say if attribute game accept word is true. I just forgot one thing here. We need to make another rule up top. And we're going to say when touch is pressed, change attribute, game, last spot selected, to self, what spot am I? My bad, that's actually self, what selection am I? So you have last spot selected, to self, what selection am I? Now we'll shrink that. I'll just drag it out of the way. And we'll go back to our initial rule that we started up here, and it says if except word is true. What we need to do is we need to change a bunch of attributes. So we're going to go change attribute, and we're going to change self used to false. And change another attribute, self, what selection am I, to 0. I'm going to change attribute game, okay to select, to false. And we want to do that so, well, it's doing all its stuff that the user can't just go and select more letters. We're going to change attribute, self, touch count to 0. Change attribute, game, how many letters selected, to 0. Change attribute, game, selected spot, to 0. Change attribute, game, selected X, to 0. Change attribute, game, selected Y, to 0. And then we're going to add a timer at the bottom. And we're going to say after 0.1, run to completion. We're going to do 2 more change attributes. We're going to change attribute, game, except word, to false, and then change attribute, game, okay to select, to true. So basically what we've done so far is we've said if the user double taps the last letter, he wants to accept the word. And if he wants to accept the word, then basically we want to unselect everything, set everything back to the way it was, and then again at the bottom, change except word back to false, and then tell the game it's okay to start selecting words again. Now we haven't added any of the stuff yet that says, hey, is this a real word, and what do I get points for it and all that. This is just the basic right now, so we can add that other stuff in after. I'm going to go ahead and save this real quick just in case gamesalad crashes or something. So let's go and test this out. Hopefully I didn't skip anything. Preview. So this is our select word and it's false. So got this, so I'm selecting. And it is not working. So let's go and figure out what that is. Alright, I think I know what the issue is here. Right here I have touch is pressed, and it's actually if touch is released. I don't like to use touch is released all the time, but this only has one rule in here, and it's really harmless, so it's okay. I'm going to use it. I'm going to go ahead and press preview now. And here we go. So select, 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 and I can go back to A if I want to, go down. Now I'm going to select it and pretend that's a word. Select it, and it changed back to false, so I'm going to go here, and I'll take that word, take that word, so it's perfect, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Perfect. So now that we have that covered, I'm going to stop the video here because that was a lot to take in. You may have to do it a couple times until you get it right. Hopefully I didn't screw anything up in there. The next video should go a lot smoother. This was just a lot to do, and I had to pre-plan it. So hopefully it all went okay, and if you have any questions, please post them in the forums. I'll see you guys in the next video.